Surely you've heard of the famous giant Goliath, the dreaded giant of Philistia. He is undoubtedly the best-known giant in the Holy Scriptures. However, few know some interesting details about the life of this colossus and his family of giants. In this video, we will explore in depth the history and origins of each of Goliath's brothers, the 5 giants who shared his blood. This will be a series of videos dedicated to the giants of the Bible. That's why I ask you to like, comment, and share this video with friends, family, and other people interested in the topic. And if you're curious to know more about the Bible, let me know in the comments. The history and origin of Goliath's 5 giant brothers are full of mysteries, even though Goliath is the most famous giant in the Holy Scriptures. Few know the true story behind this terrible and monstrous giant. Among the facts and curiosities about his life, there is one aspect that most people don't know about: his brothers of the same race. Goliath had about 5 brothers of the same race, belonging to the race of Rephaim giants, also known as Rephate giants. The biblical text reveals that these 5 brothers plotted revenge against King David shortly after learning of the death of their brother Goliath, who was defeated by King David himself. These 5 giants, filled with rage, sought every way they could to take revenge and destroy the life of the king of Israel. After the Israelites left Egypt, they found themselves in Canaan with various Canaanite peoples, Canaanite tribes, and various races of giants. These giants had an impressive stature, reaching around 3 to 4.5 meters in height and an incredible width of around 2 meters. A notable example is King Og of Bashan, who was approximately 4.5 meters tall and 2 meters wide. His massive body was so big that he needed an entire iron bed to support him. He truly resembled a monster. In addition to the Nephilim and the ancients, the Bible also mentions the Rephates, another ancient tribe of giants. They were known for inhabiting the region of Bashan, which today corresponds to Jordan and Israel. The word Rephaim can be translated as mighty men or giants. They are mentioned in Deuteronomy 2 verses 20 to 21 and 3:11, and their kingship is associated with Og, king of Bashan. The Bible also mentions the people of giants called the Anakim or Anakim. They were a powerful and tall tribe who inhabited Canaan before the Israelite conquest under Joshua. In Numbers 13:33, the Hebrew spies reported seeing the sons of Anak as giants, causing fear and doubt among the Israelites. Most of the giants and races of giants who survived or fled from Joshua and Israel did so because Israel confronted and killed many of them, or at least inflicted serious injuries. Most of these giants found refuge in the lands of the Philistines, Mesopotamia, and neighboring countries, as well as migrating to Africa. Practically all regions of the world and different peoples have legends about these terrible giants. This suggests that not only Canaan, but also Mesopotamia, Africa, the Americas, Europe, and India were home to giants in ancient times. Now, let's talk in detail about each of Goliath's brothers, all from the same race of giants. Goliath's first giant brother was called Lami, and he was a giant just like Goliath. In 1 Chronicles 20 verse 5, it says the following about Lami: "There was another war against the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair killed Lami, Goliath's brother, the Gittite, whose spear had a shaft like a weaver's spool." In this verse, we have some curiosities about Lami, Goliath's brother. One very interesting curiosity mentioned in this verse is about the size of his spear, also the weight of his spear, because the weaver's cylinder is huge. In other words, if his spear was the size of a weaver's cylinder or similar to a weaver's cylinder, then beyond any doubt it was an extremely heavy and extremely long spear. The giant Lami was probably the same stature as the giant Goliath, or very similar. Some people will claim that the Lami giant was around 3 meters tall or even 3.2 meters tall. The next giant mentioned in the Bible, who was also one of Goliath's brothers and from the same race of giants, was known as Ishbi-benob. In 2 Samuel 21:16, it is reported that Ishbi-benob, one of the sons of the Rephate giants, had a spear with a point that weighed about 300 bronze cycles, making it extremely heavy. He also wielded an enormous new sword, highlighting that it was a gigantic sword. Some say that the tip of the spear alone weighed around 6 to 7 kilos, indicating its substantial weight. The text describes Ishbi-benob's sword as incredibly sharp and gigantic, fit for a giant. This giant Ishbi-benob, who was of the same race as Goliath, tried to wound David and even kill him, but Abishai, son of Zeruiah and David's ally, came to his rescue and defeated Ishbi-benob, killing him. It is interesting to note that David personally faced this giant Ishbi-benob in his second battle against another giant. However, David was tired of the continuous fighting and needed help. Abishai, David's nephew, came to his aid and defeated Ishbi-benob, who was also Goliath's brother. Based on the descriptions of the size of Ishbi-benob's weapons and considering him to be a giant, it is likely that he was around 2.7 to 3 meters tall, or even taller than that. Goliath's third brother was known by the name of Saph, also a giant of the Rephaite race, as mentioned in the biblical text in 2 Samuel 21:18. In another war against the Philistines, Sibbecai the Hassitite defeated Saph, who was also one of the sons of the giant of the Rephaite race. As for Saph's stature, it is highly probable that he was of a similar height or slightly smaller or larger than the giant Goliath himself. It is quite possible that Saph was around 2.7 to 3 meters tall. The text also reports in 2 Samuel 21:19 that at that time there was another giant of the same race as Goliath, from Gath, also called Goliath, but known as the Gittite Goliath. The text will say the following about him. There was another battle against the Philistines at Gob, and Elhanan the son of Jeroham the Bethlehemite killed Goliath the Gittite, whose spear had a shaft like a weaver's spool. Just like one of Goliath's brothers, this one also had a spear that resembled a weaver's cylinder and was most likely around 3 meters tall. What most arouses curiosity about this giant is his name, which is the same as that of the giant Goliath whom King David faced and killed. In this case, it's Goliath the Gittite, not Goliath of Gath. The biblical text reveals that Goliath had 4 brothers, but it doesn't stop there, as he also had a 5th brother, described as a colossal giant. Unlike the other giants, he is not mentioned by name, but in 2 Samuel 21:20, we find information about him. There was also another battle in Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 toes on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 toes in all. He was also Rephaim. This unnamed giant is described by his terrible and colossal stature, probably the largest of all the giants at the time of King David, surpassing even Goliath and his brothers. His colossal stature attracted a lot of people's attention, as did the fact that he had 6 fingers on each hand and each foot, making a total of 24 toes. He was indeed an impressive giant. And so we come to the end of this fascinating dive into the story of Goliath's giant brothers. I hope you've enjoyed this journey through the lesser-known details of the Holy Scriptures. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends and family, and, of course, be part of our community by subscribing to the channel. Your interactions are essential for us to continue exploring these intriguing topics. Thank you very much for following us so far. If there are other topics you'd like to see covered or explored in more depth, please leave your suggestions in the comments. We always look forward to bringing you content that interests you. Remember to turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on upcoming videos, and see you on your next journey into the unknown together. Take care, and see you soon.